What's going on, Eagles fans? It's me, your boy Sal G, here with you tonight on another edition of the Birds Flyby here on It's a Wrap Network. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. What's going on, everyone? A few years just taken off of my life. I wonder how you're all feeling right now. I'm having a cardiac kids, aka the Philadelphia Eagles, have won it in dramatic fashion. Of course, I don't know if I need to take a Tums, an aspirin, a shot, a whiskey, all the above. I don't really know. But the Eagles win 28-22. The game that was a lot more dramatic than it needed to be. Well, if the Eagles would have lost this game, I would have been on my soapbox for saying that every stadium in the NFL should have at least retractable domes. That way, when there's bad weather, you could just close that dome up. I'm all about, seeing the sky and seeing the beauty of nature, the sun hitting you in the face when you're at a game. But, man, you hate for a game to be decided by weather. And it almost certainly was. Whew. I'm feeling it, guys. I'm feeling it right now. Dramatic fashion. Eagles win. How are we feeling right now? How are we feeling? Nooms, my boy Steve, what's up, brother? We are history if Rodgers and Mitchell are gone. Peace out. Quinyon Mitchell got hurt in the first series of the game, the first defensive series of the game, and never came back. Isaiah Rodgers, I missed that, Steve. He got hurt at the end of the game, right? Shoot. They would have to gut something out next week, get Brandon Graham back. He can come back because he tore his distal tricep tendon, and get Q back. And let's not forget Jalen Hurts. Because what I want to know, what everyone wants to know is, how is Hurts' knee? Is it all right? Because when he took that safety after getting hurt and wearing that knee brace, he didn't look all right when it was second down near the end of the game. And you could have gave the ball to Saquon Barkley after the previous Eagles drive. He bust out, a 78-yard touchdown run, and you don't give it to your best player on the field. You got your quarterback with a bum knee, wearing a brace. He can't move. He's mobile. And his second down pass play, he gets blown up for a sack, and you give the Rams a chance to come back into the game? You got to be kidding me. So how is Hurts' knee? Is he going to be able to play? Because if Tanner McKee was inactive, and you got small hands Kenny Pickett, was next in line if Hurts couldn't go. And tell you what, looking at everybody in this game today with that snow coming down hard, it was snowing sideways at times. I was looking out my window watching it. I don't know how small hands Kenny Pickett is going to hold on to that football when a lot of other guys with a lot bigger hands couldn't hold that football. So if Hurts' knee, that's what I want to know. That's one of the big questions. I mean, a war of attrition here. We're going to have the Battle of I-95 next week. Yeah, we get to host another playoff game. Yes, it's the NFC Championship game. We get to play the Commanders. Hot rookie Jaden Daniels comes to town. That's not going to be an easy matchup. And if we don't have all these guys 100%, if Hurts ain't ready to go, or if he's not 100%, and we get bad weather again, is it going to snow? No, we don't know what the forecast is going to be. And as far as I know, there ain't no engineer that could throw a dome up on that roof that quick in a week's time. So that ain't going to happen. So is Hurts' knee okay? Is Quinyon Mitchell going to play? Because Quinyon Mitchell trademarked Guantanamo Bay. That doesn't roll off the lips that easily. But he's an island out there, Guantanamo Bay. If Quinyon Mitchell can't play and Isaiah Rodgers is next in line and he's not available, I don't even know who you're throwing out there at that point. And then guess what? The other team's going to know that Quinyon's not playing, that Isaiah Rodgers either isn't 100% or he's not playing, because they're going to attack Isaiah Rodgers anyway. They were doing that in this game when Quinyon was out. They were trying to go after Rodgers. Now, If he ain't ready, they're going to attack that side of the field constantly, all game. That's the game plan. That's the game plan, guys. So how is Hurts' knee? Is it okay? Is he all right? Because he don't look like he can move worth a squat. And you know what? You know what? I'm going to say this right now. I'll drive Kellen Moore to the airport myself. I don't know what kind of play that was. Second down there. Okay? Second down on the 11th Philadelphia drive in the fourth quarter, late in the fourth quarter. You're up 6 points. You can't even be up 7 because your kicker can't make extra points. But he made every other kick, so whatever. But the extra points, all right. He misses an extra point every week. You got to eat that. But how are you let the Rams staying in this game, man? Okay, you had a chance for them to win this game outright. If they would have scored a touchdown at the end, it would have been it. That's it. It's over. It wouldn't have been tied. It would have been over. They would have won by 1 point. And you're lucky to get out of that game being up 6, because at what cost did you win that game? Because Jared Verse and the Rams wreaked havoc on the Eagles' offensive line. At least 7 sacks for the Rams. Maybe there was another one in there, but I counted 7. And Jared Verse was a big part of that. He had a big mouth, and luckily the Eagles were able to close it at the end, but he almost had the last word. So if Kellen Moore wants to get the job in Dallas, I mean, I don't even know what the big deal in keeping Kellen Moore is anyway. I don't care if Kellen Moore leaves. Let him go. And if he was responsible for that call, I'll drive him. Or I'll call his Uber. Man, I don't know if I can afford the Uber. I'll just drive him. All right? I'll drive him, guys. Let's take a look here. Comments blowing up. A lot of people watching. Give me that thumbs up. Give the show the thumbs up. Give It's a Wrap a thumbs up, a like, a share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Carter and Barkley MVPs. Yeah, man. Big Al in the house. What's up? Carter and Barkley MVPs, man. Jalen Carter, a disruptor, man. That's what he is. He disrupts. He forces fumbles. He causes havoc on that defensive line. He's a stud. I mean, this whole defensive team, all our defensive players, pretty much. I mean, you're looking at as soon as the game was starting, that defensive lineup came out. PFF ranks, all high ranks, top marks for all these guys. Really, kicking ass. Yeah, man. All right, Steve saying he don't think Jalen's hurt too badly. I think they just wanted to keep it stable, hopefully. But he can't scramble. He's not the same, and he's not going to run those 44-yard touchdown runs with that brace on, because he looks like he's running an oatmeal. Isaiah Brooks checking in, says, hi, how are you? What's going on, Isaiah? I'm doing good, man. But my heart's having some palpitations right now. I still can't get over the game. The dramatic ending there, the way it was going down. I thought we were going to blow it. You know, really nervous, man. Oh, boy. So I got to see more about this Rodgers injury. So Al's saying he thinks Rodgers' injury may be worse. The way he landed. Oh, my goodness. So if Mitchell ain't playing and Rodgers ain't ready, again, I don't know the depth chart that well. I don't know who there's going to play. You're not going to find anybody on the street right now to be able to play competent cornerback. Big Al saying Kellen needs to stop doing interviews. Is that what they are? Is that what Kellen Moore is doing? Are they interviews? Because when he's doing those interviews, I feel like AJ Brown, man, and I'm reading that book on the sideline. Because, man, they're snooze fest, bro. Kellen Moore, man. Get him out of here. If he was responsible for that call, get him out. I don't need that. I don't need that drama in my life, guys. I don't need it. Really. Let's get into this game, man. Let's get into the game. 31-2 when Eagles win the turnover battle. Well, I believe that happened today. We had a forced fumble. Try and pull up these team stats real quick here. Forced fumble, right? Stafford got fumbled. You had Kyron Williams fumbled. That's right. We won the turnover battle because we did not have, well, we lost 2 fault balls. I mean, look, in all, there were 5 fumbles in this game. 5 fumbles due to, for the most part, I'm going to say it's due to the weather, due to those slick conditions, the way it was rain and snow and sleet and a combo of all 3. Heavy snow then, but coming down like, coming down more wet than ice. It's not flaky snow. It's like soupy snow. I don't know how else to describe it, but there are 5 fumbles in this game, but 2 were lost by the Rams. The Eagles, fortunately, did not lose any. So the Eagles won that turnover battle. They are 31-2 when winning that turnover battle. And luckily that happened. And you could say now we are 32-2 after today's win, because I had to just notch that tally there. Rams Jared Verse. He had a lot to say during the game, pre-game, during the week. Trash talk came back to haunt him. But, man, that trash talk was almost prophetic by Jared Verse, because the Rams almost came away with that win. But he was trash talking. He said, I hate the Eagles fans. I hate the green and white. Just makes me so mad when I say it. I'm paraphrasing a bit, but I think I got the gist of it here for the most part. He hates the Eagles fans. He hates that the Eagles fans fly all over to see their team. He hates that they invaded Los Angeles, weeks ago. He hated that. I'm sorry, Jared Verse. I mean, you had yourself a good game. You backed up that trash talk for the most part, but the one thing you didn't do was win the game. So all that trash talking doesn't mean squat now, but he was trash talking pre-game, waving to the fans, saying, I'm here. Aha, boo me. Nice to see y'all. Trash talking during the game, trash talking to Hurts. And, man, I love it when Barkley just gave it right back to him, man, on that touchdown run. I loved it because he slowed up just to say hello to him. And then he just took off again. First, let's get into it, man. Jared Verse, man. Oh, boy. Good player, man. Defensive Rookie of the Year possibility. He's in there for sure. First quarter, first drive for the Eagles. Jalen Hurts, before the knee injury, 44-yard touchdown run. He looked real spry on that run. I don't know how spry he's going to look now during the rest of these playoffs, but he broke a tackle during that run and just looked real good. Jordan Mailata came all the way around on the play and was running down the field with him, doing that rugby block for him, loving it, that Aussie-style football. Nice to see, man. Eagles go up 6-0. Couldn't be 7-0 because Jake, Mr. Never hits extra points. Elliott missed it. Extra point for the second week in a row. At least the second week in a row. First Rams drive. They come right back. Thought it was going to be a shootout. And with this weather, I was just going back to my the last time we played Matt Stafford in the snow was right here in Philadelphia, that Shady McCoy game against the Detroit Lions, and Stafford was a part of that crew. First Rams drive. Tyler Higbee gets a 4-yard touchdown. The Rams take a 7-6 lead because their kicker doesn't miss extra points. But Stafford was hit really hard on that scramble on that drive. So, they got the touchdown, man, but he caught one in the mouth there. Well, I would say he got hit in the mouth, but he got hit in the knee or wherever it was, lower body. Second Philadelphia drive. Well, I ain't gonna get all the punts there, but it was the first defensive drive. So it was on this Rams drive where Quinyon Mitchell got hurt. He was questionable, return with the shoulder, but then they rolled him out later in the game, never came back in. So we missed him because they were attacking Isaiah Rodgers' side of the field for sure. And then the third Philadelphia drive, we get another score. Is the defenseless wide receiver. It was a yellow ball thrown to Devontae Smith. He would have made the catch, but then there was the penalty that ended up making Devontae drop the ball. He was hitting the mouth pretty much, hitting the helmet there. But extended drive. But Saquon, 62-yard YOLO touchdown run. And that wasn't it. That was the first 2 60-plus yard touchdown runs in this game for Saquon. My Lord. Philadelphia up 13-7. 13-7. Saquon. Yeah, I'm putting this up here. Saquon is our MVP. You know, I know that it's either going to come down to, we have the game tonight. I mean, you could say it's the game of the week, the game of the weekend. The Buffalo Bills versus the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, that's going to be a hell of a contest. And two of the MVP candidates are, Jesus. Now I can't even remember his name. Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are in the running for the MVP. And most likely one of those guys are going to get it. But for me, I don't know how they vote on the MVP. I don't know if it's just the regular season and then whatever happens in the playoffs doesn't count. But to me, whatever happens until you're out of it should have a standing. And what Saquon's doing right now, he is our MVP. He might not win it. He's probably going to win Offensive Player of the Year. That's probably going to be the award they give him. That's usually what they give to non-quarterbacks. All right, but my man, 2,000 yards rushing, over 2,000 yards rushing in the season. If you let him go for it, he probably would have broke Eric Dickerson's record. In this game, he had 205 yards rushing with 2 touchdowns. 2 runs over 62 yards. The second one went for 78. Yeah, he's our MVP. I know the weather was bad, but I don't want to hear it. Saquon is our MVP. He's the man. We wouldn't win this game without him. No doubt about it. And we almost lost the game because they didn't give him the damn football when they should have. In second down, you let Jalen Hurts take a huge sack late in the game. Craziness. It was crazy. All right, well, 13-7. All right, so on the Rams' third drive, Isaiah Rodgers now, they're picking on him. He got a YOLO ball ripped out of his hands. They're going to test him. It was a good play by Rodgers. I mean, he went up there. He had the ball in his hands. I mean, he had an interception. You got to do a better job of pulling that in, but he did everything right on that play. DeMarcus Robinson just ripped it out of his hands on that catch. And unfortunately, fortunately, there was no touchdown on that drive, but there was points scored by the Rams. C.J. Gardner-Johnson had a big stop on Kyren Williams on third down, made the Rams punt a 30-yard field goal. Philly's up 13-10. And Jared Verse was wrecking havoc. He had at least 2 sacks in this game on Jalen Hurts. And every time he was getting sacked, he was talking his shit. Oh, yes, he was on Jalen Hurts and that Eagles offense, for sure. Josh Sweat got himself a sack in the game. Defense played great. I mean, you know, I can't, other than going into that prevent defense, going into that prevent late in the game, you're preventing yourself from getting a win. That's my buddy Mike Lauro said that. I'm quoting him. Another yellow ball by Jalen to A.J. Brown. It was bobbled and caught while out of bounds. That was in the second quarter. It was the Eagles' 5th drive. And the Eagles couldn't do nothing there because Hurts was sacked again by Jared Verse. And I had to notice after the first half ended, you know, coaches get interviewed. And again, McVay's beard, whoever his barber is, man, I'm putting him on notice, man. It stuff's all over the place. I don't know what is going on there. He's got like a V, a T. I don't know if it's his initials carved into his face. I don't know what's going on there. But his barber, man, has got to be the worst I've ever seen. And if that's a do-it-yourself job, Sean McVay, come on, man. You got money, man. I'm not saying I got a great beard going on. This is all myself, though. If I had money like you, man, I'd be paying people to do my beard every week, man. You know, shaving my bald head. Yeah. You know, I don't know what Flowbee attachments you got going on that beard, man, but you got to take care of that stuff. You know, let your wife or girlfriend handle that, man. If you're not going to pay somebody to do it. You know, that's whoever's your barber, man. You know, he might be blind or something, bro. But I don't know. That beard, man, it just bothers me every time I see Sean McVay's beard, man. It's all jacked up. The first half stats, we got Hurts going 9 for 12 through the air, 66 yards. And the snow wasn't that hard. It was snow. It wasn't coming down that hard yet. But the snow definitely played did something. It neutralized the Eagles' advantage. I mean, I have it right here on the screen. I should just read it off the screen here. The snow neutralized any advantages the Eagles had. The snow, and I was reading something or listening to something about this, but when this type of snowfall happens and you have these bad weather conditions outdoors, the underdog teams get a boost up, and it's pretty much an even game for the most part, because it's whoever commits the least amount of turnovers, and everybody's on equal footing or unequal footing because you're slipping and sliding all over the place. It's hard for defenses to adjust to players juking and jiving. The offensive players are slipping and sliding. The ball is slippery. It's falling all over the place. Guys are having trouble getting a handle on it. So, whenever you have a big advantage, as soon as this type of weather hits, those advantages are out the window, and it pretty much becomes an even game. And I felt like that's what you saw for the most part here. But Hurts 9 for 12 through the air, 66 yards, and he had 5 rushes, 67 yards. Of course, that big 44-yard touchdown run by Jalen. Matthew Stafford had himself a nice half, 10 for 15, 1 for 126, and a tutty, and he rushed one time for 5 yards. Leading receivers for the Rams wasn't Puka Nacua, it was not Cooper Kupp, it was DeMarcus Robertson. He had one catch on that yellow ball for 48 yards, the ones he ripped out of Isaiah Rodgers' hands. It should have been a pick, but it wasn't. But it wasn't a bad play by Rodgers there. Tyler Higbee, 4 catches, 41 yards, and a touchdown. Saquon, 3 catches for 24 yards, and already showing he's having a good half. But, man, it's 11 carries, 94 yards for 9.4 average. How you like that? Yard rushing average there, and 1 touchdown. That big 62-yard touchdown run in the first half. And on to the third quarter we go. And we get a couple of punts there, and we still get Jared Verse putting pressure, a lot of pressure, talking trash to the fans. Every time he made a big play, he was disrupting. He's in the middle of a play. He was, gesturing towards the crowd, throwing his hands up, doing everything but giving them the finger pretty much, because you get a flag for that. But he was talking, and his play backed up for the most part. He's a good player. Then we get confirmation in the second half that Quinyon Mitchell is going to be out for the game. But Jalix Hunt had a big sack on third down. It was a 6th drive for the Rams. They end up kicking a field goal. So these type of big plays, man, are what turns, potential touchdowns into field goals or no points when you have these big sacks. And credit to Vic Fangio and the defense in this game. Again, with this crappy weather, man, still playing big. Jalix Hunt comes up big on third down. Rams have to kick a field goal, but they tie it. It's now 13-13. And then the Eagles come right back, and Jake Elliott, man, he can't hit an extra point, but you need him to kick a 44-yard field goal in a blizzard, man, he can do it. Nails it. 16-13, Eagles drive. And then we get Hurts gets his knee twisted up on a drive. It was during a tackle, man. All jacked up, leg and knee just bent like it shouldn't. It didn't look good. And then on the 7th Eagles drive, the Rams get a safety because you saw the limited mobility of Jalen Hurts and that knee brace he had. So the safety now cuts the lead to 1 for the Eagles. It's 16-15. Hurts could not move. He couldn't do anything. Again, he's running in oatmeal. He's running in quicksand. Fourth quarter. 8th LA Rams drive. This is the turning point for me. Turning point. Jalen Carter punches the ball out of Matt Stafford's hands, causes the fumble. Oh, sorry. It wasn't Stafford. It was Kyren Williams. He punched it out of Kyren Williams' hands. Williams fumbles. Isaiah Rodgers recovers. And then we get a touchdown by Barkley. No, we don't. It's short of a touchdown on the official review. So Jake Elliott has to kick a field goal. 23-yard field goal makes it a 19-15 game. And then we have Nolan Smith causing the fumble. This is the fumble he caused on Stafford now. Stafford fumbles. Zach Bond recovered the ball. That's another big play. But the Eagles were up 19-15 with that field goal. I'm sorry if I didn't say that part. But again, next drive for the Rams. The Nolan Smith fumble. Another big play. Bond recovered it. 9th Philadelphia drive. Jake Elliott kicks a 37-yard field goal, makes it 22-15. And then at this point, the game should have been out of reach. It should have been out of reach for the Rams. The 10th Philadelphia drive, Barkley goes off to the left, 78-yard touchdown run, gone. 28-15 is the Eagles' lead. They're up 13 points. They're up 13 now in this game. It should have been over. Eagles go into prevent or something, because the Rams just drove in like seconds, it seemed like. Colby Parkinson gets a touchdown, a 4-yard grab, makes it now a 28-22 game. Okay, and the Rams are piling on the sacks in this game. What else? And you're letting the Rams stay in this. I'm talking about it. Bash Kellen Moore, drive them to the airport. You let them into the game. But Jalen Carter, this was a big play too. Braden Mann kicks the punt. Okay, this is after the Parkinson touchdown. And the Jesus Christ. If I can't talk, the Eagles on their next drive had the punt, but Braden Mann kicks a 55-yard punt because the Rams defender let it go and it bobbled. It ended up rolling for another 10, 15 yards or so, which was fortuitous for the Eagles for sure. Jalen Carter gets another huge sack. And then that's it. That's the game. But whew, the Rams were driving. The Rams had it close. There was a big ball thrown to Puka Nacua. He caught it on his shoulder. I mean, this game was closer than it needed to be. I mean, they were on the Philadelphia 22. It was 4th and 11. Stafford throws, trying to find Nacua. Couldn't do it. And that was it. Eagles move on to the championship game. My heart's still beating fast. We face Washington. I thought we were going to face Detroit, which I was kind of nervous about. But now we're playing the Commanders at home. I'm still nervous about it. Why am I nervous about this? The I-95 showdown. That game's going to be next week. I don't know if we're going to have the early game and the late game. I'm going to venture to say it's going to be the early game because whoever the winner of the Bills-Ravens game is going to face the Chiefs, right? And that's going to be your marquee matchup. You're going to have Taylor Swift in the house. You know, Hollywood is going to be there, I'm sure, to represent. They're going to be in that box with Swift. That's going to be your primetime game. So the Eagles will probably be on at 3 o'clock next week, if I had to guess, on Sunday. And the late game will be 6:30. And again, it'll probably be the Chiefs versus whoever the winner of the Ravens, Bills is going to be. So that's it, man. That's pretty much wrapping this up, man. But snow neutralized the Eagles' advantage. Let me just look at the box score here on the defensive. Well, we'll run through a couple things here. Matt Stafford, I mean, he had himself a decent game. I mean, if you play fantasy playoffs here, he went 26 for 44. I mean, those numbers don't look that good, but he went for 324, 2 touchdowns, did not throw any picks, but he did have a fumble. Jalen Hurts went 15 of 20 for 128. That's okay. We still put up 350 yards of offense. Why? Because of Saquon Barkley and his 26 carries for 205 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's why. And then Saquon Barkley also chipped in 4 catches for 27 yards. Your leading receiver for the Eagles ended up being Dallas Goedert, who had 4 catches for 56 yards. So it's nice to see Goddard back and healthy. We need him, especially when you got weather like this. That's a nice option to have when you're not going deep with the football. You know, Devontae Smith, 4 catches, 21 yards. A.J. Brown, 2 catches for 14 yards. You know, not a lot there. That's 3 catches for A.J. Brown in 2 games. That's mind-blowing, man. But in a game like this, I mean, it's a wild card. Well, it's the divisional, but it's a wild card with the weather. You never know what you're going to get. And with Puka Nacua, he was the leading receiver for the Rams, 6 catches, 97 yards. That guy's a stud. And Kyron Williams had himself a good game outside of that fumble. 19 carries for 106 yards. He had, they were going to the ground a lot. And Kyron Williams is usually more of an accumulator. And that's how he usually compiles his stats. But in this game, he had a nice yards per carry average. I think for the season, regular season, he averaged under 4 yards per carry. And that's not really that great for a running back. And he's no Saquon Barkley now, don't get me wrong, but he's decent. But I'm just going to make sure I'm not talking out my butt. All right, he went 4.1. He went 4.1. But again, that's okay. That's all right. All right, I'm going to look at the defensive side of the football for the Birds and the Rams real quick while we're looking at it. And passing yards, so 291 net for the Rams, 65 net for the Eagles. That's crazy when you look at that. Rush yards, 285 for the Birds, 111 net for the Rams, and 402 yards of total offense for the Rams, 350 for the Birds. Zach Baun had himself 5 tackles. Darius Slay had 5 tackles. GJ, it's a tongue twister, had 5. Oren Burks played well. He did. He played well in Nakobe Dean's absence. We lost Dean for the rest of the playoffs here. Oren Burks stepped in, got himself 4 tackles. So it's nice to see there. Jared Verse, the disruptor, got himself 2 sacks, 4 tackles. And, the Rams were piling up sacks in this one. But Jalen Carter had 2 sacks. Nolan Smith had a sack. Jalix Hunt had a sack. And Moro Ojomo had a sack. I didn't hear that one, but that's awesome, man. I don't know if that was a half sack or what. Moro Ojomo on that. Cool. Let me just see if there's anything else here I'm missing. All right, I got to turn this off. All right, guys, about to wrap this up, man. There's a lot of people tuning in. I appreciate it. Please throw up them likes, share, and subscribe. Really means a lot to me, and it's a Wrap Network. And just to let you know what else we got going on here, we got The Final Word with Matty B, Sunday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you check that out. So Matty B will be on tonight, and I'm sure he'll have his thoughts on Kellen Moore and that second down play late in the fourth quarter. That really could have been disaster for the Eagles. We have Clear the Ice, which is our Flyers post-game show. Make sure you check that out. Tuesday night, Matty B will be on when the Red Wings, the Flyers play the Red Wings, and I'll be going Thursday when the Flyers play the Rangers, and Matty B will be going again Friday when the Flyers play the New York Islanders. So we got the Battle of New Yorks 2 days in a row. It's a tough week for the Flyers, man. But the Rangers stink, so we should be able to beat them. We should be able to beat anybody here. But Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, man, that's 3 games in 4 days. That's going to be tough for sure. And tomorrow night, don't you miss the wraparound. We'll be talking about this game again with Sal G tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Check it out. Why am I seeing this too? Oh, never mind. And make sure you check Birds Blast with Kyle Quinn. That's every week with Matty B. Kyle Quinn comes on the show, and they chop it up about the birds. Birds. And Mike Lauro going to be joining us February, so make sure you check out for Mike. He'll be doing a bunch of stuff. He'll be doing Flyers. He'll be doing Phillies. He'll be doing Eagles. He'll be doing his own show. And all the excuses brought up about weather by me were, of course, courtesy of Big Al's Excuse Emporium. Big Al's Excuse Emporium, been around at It's a Wrap Network since 2024 and provides excuses to all four major Philadelphia sports teams, the Flyers, the Sixers, the Eagles, and your Philadelphia Phillies. All right, guys. Well, I'm signing off for the night, but I appreciate everybody joining in. Fun time, man. Fun game. Didn't need to be so crazy. Hopefully next week's game is not as crazy, but I got a feeling I'm still going to sweat it out. So talk to you all next time, everyone. Take care. Peace.